been wishing for some better days.
I have waited for so long to be able to say this. We have a brand new highest round ever in Call of Duty Zombies. Some of you may be familiar with the famous round 7200 by Frenzy on Shi No Numa from back in 2015. His video of this game went somewhat viral, receiving 1.5 million views, and whenever high rounds are discussed, this is what most casual players point to as being the highest round ever. But that hasn't actually been the highest round for quite a while now, because a German player named Killer went on to beat Frenzy's round about 2 years later with a round 9072 game. Since this game though, no player has even made it past round 6000 in the last 3 years. Last night though, a literal newcomer to the world record scene named Riv10 went on and beat this world record with a round 9100, and he's still going.
I'm not even gonna risk it, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh! Oh! Oh my god! Oh, and it's a dog round. Oh, let's go, dude. World record.
He'll actually probably be live when this video does go up, so please go and check the description. He will be in the top of it. Please go watch him make history. I'll also probably make a follow-up to this video if you guys want to see it when this game is completed. He's getting dangerously close to having the first mythic round 10,000 in Zombies history, so like I said, please go check it out. This world record though, I believe, came as a shock to pretty much everyone though, because Shi No Numa has been all but dead for the last few years, and this record came from a really unexpected player. There are only a few hardcore World of War players left out there, with the names like Killer, Claystar, and Krups being some of the names that you're probably familiar with, and they all seemed like they were going to be the contenders to be the ones to break this world record. That's why no one in their right mind thought that this guy named Riv, who had a personal best on Shi No Numa of around 1800 before this game, was going to be the one to do it. Don't get me wrong here, round 1800 is still a great round, but that's thousands of rounds lower than anyone else that I mentioned, and most well-known world record players have at least around 1000, even if they've never played this map very seriously. And as far as I'm able to tell, Riv has never actually even streamed a map besides Shi No Numa before, and he doesn't even have a profile picture on his Twitch account, so I think that this came as a real shock to the system to anyone that saw this game. So now that you know actually what's happening, I'm going to explain a little bit about Shi No Numa, how you play it, and why it's actually been a struggle for the last few years. Also, let's try and hit 9,100 likes on this video. I know it's a huge stretch goal, but I believe you guys can do it. If you've ever played World of War, you know that there are only 24 zombies per round maximum on every map besides Der Riese, which is why high rounds in the thousands are possible. Also, after round 163, every other round pretty much is what is called an insta-kill round, where the zombies' health becomes so high that the mathematical algorithm handling the game can't handle it, so it resets their health to a negative number, making them a one-shot to anything. Every round or so from there on, the health flip-flops between positive and negative, so you need to adjust your strategy accordingly. Dogs are immune to this health glitching because they never go above a relatively low amount of health. So now that you know some of the basic mechanics of the game, let's get to how you actually have to play it. Every player looking for a high round in this map will gather 2 perks, which are usually Speed Coal and Juggernog, and they will restart until they get these perks in certain areas in order to prevent extra spawns. You also don't grab Quick Revive because it doesn't give you extra revives on solo, and double tap is not necessary, and opening any extra area could cause extra spawns, which makes the rounds go slower. So in essence, you need to be able to play this entire game without taking a single down, which on World of War is a mighty big task because those zombies can just grab you from behind and one zombie could literally just kill you. Players also want to have the Wunderwaffe and the PPSH or the Thompson as their secondary, with bouncing Bettys for dog rounds. The PPSH is preferred though because of the extra ammo, and it's just satisfying to use. I mean, who doesn't love the PPSH? Once you have everything set up, players will only open the first fishing hut door with the flogger trap, and until round 200 they basically use the exact same strategy that everyone else does, where they train around in that little area and shoot the Wonderwaff to power through rounds. After that, they begin the round on the bridge area, and after a few seconds they run to turn on the flogger trap, run past it, and into the little courtyard area. Because the zombies are spawning so quickly at this point in the game, a maximum of 4 zombies will spawn in the only window right next to the flogger, and they can be taken care of with one waff shot. For some reason though, while the flogger trap is going, you can walk through one side of it without taking any damage and head back to the bridge. At the start of the round, you also need to throw grenades to check to see if it's an insta-kill round. If it is, then you basically do the same thing as you regularly do, but shoot the zombies without activating the flogger. You do have to stand in that same area though. If you happen to have a round that is an insta-kill and the flogger is not charged, you'll have to train the zombies in the little courtyard, which is fairly dangerous, but an experienced player should be able to handle it safely enough. And I know I mentioned that Shi No Numa has been where dreams go to die, and that's because it seems like everyone and their mother at some point has taken a shot at this map trying to get the world record, but give up after one attempt because they feel like around 1000 is enough for them, or if, oh, I crashed this one time, I'm not going to go and try it again. But for those players like Krups who are dedicated though into World of War, he put in thousands of resets into just Shi No Numa alone after the last few years, and he's even developed newer and faster strategies for this map. But his and everyone else's biggest struggle though has been crashing. Once you get past about around 5000 on Shi No Numa, it's basically a game of hoping that you don't crash every single round. You are also required to play on the Xbox 360 version of this game because the PC version has a 50-hour shorter reset time, the PS3 crashes and has a lower reset time, and the Xbox One version, backwards compatible, just crashes in about 6 hours. So because of this, you need luck not only to not crash in your game, you need to not die from the glitchy World of War zombies, you have to play on a specific platform, and have 3 weeks of time to dedicate to a single game that 99% of the time will error you before you even get close to the world record. As I said though, Riv is still playing his game and could potentially reach about round 11,000 with the flogger trap strategy if his game doesn't crash and if he continues to play quickly. You play this map at about 100 rounds per hour, and Riv's game has already taken about 87 hours of playtime. Oh, and did I mention this, that he started his game 20 days ago? But that also isn't the highest that this map could go theoretically, because as I mentioned, Krups developed a new strategy for this map where you use the Wonderwaff all game instead of the flogger. His strategy is faster, and theoretically you could reach up to around 13,000 if you are playing well. I'm going to bring him on for an interview probably in the next video to talk about Shi No Numa though, because he's the most just knowledgeable World of War player in the entire community, and he has a wealth of knowledge to share. Krups actually did end up messaging me back during the editing for this video, so I'm going to throw in the interview for you guys right now. So Krups, my first question for you is how long do you think Riv has until his game ends, assuming that the zombies aren't what kills him?
I would say about 4 to 5 hours. He could error or crash, and if you haven't seen the gameplay, he's been dropping a lot of frames, almost as bad as Claystar's 6000 game. If you haven't seen that game, you'll see in Claystar's 6000 game, he did lose a lot of frames, which is what's happening to Riv right now. So I would say about 4 to 5 hours until he potentially errors or crashes.
And what round do you think he could end up on, like, before he crashes?
I would say about maybe around 9,600, maybe around 9,700. If he somehow avoids all of those crashes and errors and goes all the way up to reset, he could actually make it to around 11,000.
Alright, so what do you think the odds are? Give me a percentage of what you think the odds are that he gets 10k.
Out of his game right now, I would have to probably put it maybe a 25-30% chance. Obviously, I can't be 100% sure. I mean, he could get a 10k without any problems, but looking at his frame drops, I would have to say about maybe a 25-30% chance. That number is obviously going to go down more as he plays. It could even be a 5% chance if he makes it like around 9,700, assuming his frame drops are getting worse, which will probably happen.
Alright, so Question 2, how high could this map actually go? Because I talked about in the video how the flogger isn't actually the optimal strat anymore. Like, what could this theoretically go up to?
It could theoretically go all the way up to around 13,000. Recently I found a new strategy called 2020 strat. It's a complicated strategy to explain, but I'll probably make a video on that if you want to see it. But with this new strat, it's about 20 and 19 SPH compared to running flogger with the trap. That is usually about 25 SPH. So running this new strategy is going to save you about 5 to 6 SPH, which enables you to potentially get around 13,000.
And if you're unfamiliar with SPH, it's seconds per horde. And over the course of 9,000 hordes, 10,000 hordes per game, because there's only one horde per round, that could save a lot of time potentially. So, and then my last question, question 3 is, do you think that this game will create a new interest in this map? Do you think that more players are going to try to go for this record now?
It depends. If Riv were to somehow hit reset, which I definitely think is possible, if he hits reset, I actually think a lot of people are going to be discouraged from playing this map. Because you have to keep in mind, a lot of people who do go for the world record are mostly casuals. They don't have the biggest experience with this map, and they mostly run flogger, which is common. That's completely fine. But running flogger, it's slow, especially to the 2 new strats that were found, which is fast strat, which is running around the flogger area with only your waff. That is faster than running flogger with the trap, but it's slower than 2020 strat, which I explained earlier is a lot faster, which can enable you to get 13,000. But like I said, I definitely think if Riv hits a reset, this is going to discourage a lot of people from going for the world record, because keep in mind, he's playing 2 hours faster than the world record. That's not a huge amount of time saved, but it's enough where most people won't be able to get the world record because of how fast he's playing. But if you were to air or freeze, I definitely think a lot of people are going to be trying out this map, especially once again, like I said, I was explaining about the new strategy called 2020 strat. I think a lot of people are going to start playing that, and it's going to be saving a lot of time. Matter of fact, if you're comparing my times to Inster's 9072 game, all the way to reset, you can save about 13 hours, which, like I said, enables you to get 13,000.
Yeah, because 13 hours would be about roughly 1,300 rounds-ish. Or faster, potentially, yeah.
Yes, and running 2020 strat, that would be about 1,500 rounds. About 1,500 rounds.
I mean, and it's actually surprising that your answer was really close to mine, because I said earlier in the video that I thought that if he hit 10,000, then a lot of people would be discouraged and you'd probably be the only one to push through that. But if he does crash before that, then I think, yeah, more people would actually be willing to play it.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think that's, you know, we got a really good sort of in-depth answer, and now you guys know that 13,000 is theoretically possible, but flogger really can only go up to the low 11,000s, you know, if you really played really super well and you didn't crash. So I think, you know, this was a good interview. Thanks for coming on, Dad. Krups will be in the description. I was going to put him anyway, even if the interview didn't happen. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Poppy. Plug your shit.
My Twitch is twitch.tv/Krups, CRUPPZ. I basically stream on there every single day. Matter of fact, I'm going for the Shi No Numa world record right now. I've been trying that for, I think, over 5-6 months now. So I'll be streaming on there about every single day. So if you want to watch that, go ahead. Other than that, stay safe, everybody, and have a good one.
But yes, finally, we have someone closing in on the mythic round 10,000, which I really didn't think was going to happen, because there's been so much of a big gap between records on this map, and even now, the 3rd record place is actually in the round 6,000, I believe. Sorry, that would actually be 4th place because this new record does count, but still, there's a huge gap in between when people break these records, so I really didn't think that round 10,000 was ever going to happen, and if it did, it was probably going to be Krups. So because of that, I want to absolutely say GG to you, Riv, and it's really cool to see a brand new world record player come into the community and just swoop up this record when no one's been able to do it in the last few years. Now, a big question that does remain though is, does this create a brand new, renewed interest in this map? Do people want to actually go for this world record now? And I'm actually going to go out on a limb and say no. I think that once someone passes round 10,000, Krups will probably be the only person that will attempt to push it, and everyone else will just kind of back off. I don't see Riv making another attempt at this, and I think the Flogger Trap is easy enough that most players could jump in and get an easy round. But with the new varied strat that Krups has, I think that it takes a lot more effort and a lot more skill than the Flogger Trap does, so he'll probably be the only one with the dedication. But yeah, like I said, go and check out Riv. He will probably still be playing his game in the link in the description down below once this video does go out. I think he said that he could probably get into the low 11,000s if he played really well, but he's starting to frame lag a lot, which could mean that his game is going to crash soon, so fingers crossed that he does actually get to the 10k before he crashes. This was a really fun video to make though. Hanging out in chat, watching everyone just go absolutely insane when this record was broken was really special and really fun. So like I said, I had a lot of fun with this video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys now can take away from this the knowledge that we have a brand new highest round in zombies ever. And as I said, I'll probably make a follow-up video to this once the game is over, with an interview with maybe Riv and probably Krups in the video to talk about the game, everything that happened with it, so on and so forth. But before then, go check out Riv. While you're down there, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and turn on notifications. We are trying to reach 100,000 subs. I love y'all. Peace.